Okay, so we start the last lesson, lesson 4, solving the word problems with ratios. Right, so we learn about ratios. The principle is totally same, but now we just have to interpret the word problems. So problem number 1, right? Joanna had 10 pendants and 4 bracelets. Pendant is the thing that you like put on your neck, right? This is pendant. And yeah, and bracelet, well, I hope you know what the bracelet is, right? You put on your hand, right? Okay, so we need to find, she had 10 of them, 10 pendants and 4 bracelets, right? And we need to find the ratio here, right? So 10 pendants, 10 to 4 pendants to bracelets, right? And we divide both sides by 2, 5 to 2. Here is the ratio that Joanna had, 5 to 2. All right, let's try now to do this ourselves. Malik baked 12 egg tarts, 15 muffins, 24 cupcakes. Find the ratio of number of egg tarts to the number of muffins to number of cupcakes that he baked, right? And always we need to represent it in the simplest form, right? So here's our ratio: 12 egg tarts, 15 muffins, 24 cupcakes, right? If we divide by 3, common factor is 3, like 12 divided by 3 is 4, right? So everywhere is gonna be 3. 15 by 3 is 5. 24 by 3 is 8. So here's our ratio, right? The ratio of the number of egg tarts, number of muffins to the number of cupcakes, right? 4 to 5 to 8. Very simple. Okay, so the second thing that we need to learn is how to show our ratios as units and solve our word problems using model drawing and ratios. Here's the problem. There are 57 children in the art club. The ratio of the number of girls to the number of boys in the club was 1 to 2. How many girls were there in the club? Look at the model that they draw for us, right? Girls is 1 unit and the ratio is 1 to 2. So the boys is this 2 units, right? 2 units over here. And the total amount is 57, okay? So how many units make up 57? It's 3 units, right? So 1 unit is 19, right? And there were 19 girls in the club, right? So if we need to find boys, right? So there are 2 units times 19, 38, right? Well, they don't ask us this. The next one, we're gonna try to do this ourselves. So Darren and Shelby, 2 guys apparently, ran a total of 1,000 meters. The ratio of the distance Darren ran to the distance Shelby ran was 1 to 4. What was the distance Darren ran, right? We need to find this 1 unit, right? So, right, this 1 unit, right? And 1 to 4, so we have our 4 units, right? And the total is, they tell us, 1 kilometer, right? Or 1,000 meters, right? So how many units? 5 units is 1,000 meters, right? Total, 5 units. So 1 unit is 1,000 divided by 5, right? Which is 200 meters. So this is 1 unit. The distance that Darren ran is 1 unit, is 200 meters. Okay? All right. The next thing we need to learn is how to break the total into 2 parts and show these 2 parts as a ratio. So the problem is, Amy had 96 books altogether, right? She had 60 comic books and the rest were storybooks, right? So these are the questions that they ask us. How many storybooks did Amy have, right? And find the ratio of the number of comic books to the number of storybooks. Express the ratio in the simplest form. So this is the thing that they're gonna ask you. Express the ratio in the simplest form. So here is our guy, right? He's helping us. He's saying hello. How can we solve this? And step by step, right? What have I gathered from the problem? How many books altogether? How many comic books did Amy have? And again, using a model drawing, right? So we have our total, right? And we divide in two halves, right? So there are our comic books, right? Comic books, right? And there's the rest. So storybooks. And the total is 96. And this is exactly our model over here, right? We have our total, right? And we have our part, which is 60, and the rest. So 96 minus 60, 36, and we had 36 storybooks. That's your first answer, right? This is the third storybooks. Okay. Now they ask us to find the ratio. Number of comic books is 60. Number of storybooks is 36. So our ratio is 60 to 36. 60 to 36, right? And then we can divide it by common factor, right? Divide it by 12, right? Both sides, and this is what they do over here. So they're simplifying the ratio 5 to 3, right? And they write it as a sentence. The ratio of the number of comic books to the number of storybooks was 5 to 3. And the last one, they ask, how can I check my answer? Easy to check. You can work backwards. What does it mean backwards? You just take your ratio, right? Over here, you take your ratio and you multiply it by 12 both sides, and you can find the numbers of books, comic books and storybooks. Now we're gonna do everything ourselves. Mrs. Toe gave her 3 children $900 to share among themselves. Amy received $200, James received $400, Dennis received the remaining amount, right? Simple model, right? The total amount of money was 900, yeah? So 200, this is our Amy, right? And this is James. And this is the other guy, Dennis, right? We don't know how much, right? So basically 900 minus 200 minus 400 is what? $300, right? I need to write dollars. $300. Dennis received $300. Okay? All right. Next question. So there was A. Find the ratio. Well, for the ratio, we just write the amount of money they get, right? Amount of money Amy received was 200, right? James received 400. Okay? And Dennis received, we just found it, 300, right? And we simplify it. We simplify our ratio. We divide everything by 100, right? They tell us, divide everything by 100. 200 by 100 is 2 to 4 to 3. And this is our answer. The ratio was 2 to 4 to 3. Very simple. Next one. Lillian spent $27 and had 18 left. Find the ratio of the money she spent to the total amount of money she had at first. Express the ratio in the simplest form. Very easy, right? Our total is 27 plus 18, right? And it's gonna be $45. $45, right? And she spent to the total of money, right? So she spent 27 and the ratio 45. We need to find this ratio. So we need to simplify it. How can we simplify it? We can divide everything by 9, right? 27 divided by 9 is going to be 3, and 45 divided by 9 is going to be 5. So our answer is 3 to 5. 3 to 5. Next problem, Narita mixed 500 milliliters of cranberry juice, 600 of grapefruit juice, 1 liter of water to make fruit punch. Right? What was the ratio of cranberry juice to grapefruit juice to water? Right? So 3 different components. Okay. Well, I'm gonna, because I don't have place, I'm gonna erase this thing. Okay. So what is your ratio? 500 to 600 to 1000, right? Because these are milliliters. Don't forget, you cannot operate with one ratio with different units, and this is liter. 1 liter is 1000 milliliters, right? So now this is your ratio. Okay, and you can see clearly we can remove these zeros, we can simplify, we can divide everything by 100, and it's gonna be 5 to 6 to 10, and that's your answer. 5 to 6 to 10, that's your ratio. Now next thing they teach us here is how can we use models and how can we use ratios, right, to solve this kind of word problem where we need to find the used amount. So Rena used 4 liters of orange juice and some lemonade to make fruit punch. The ratio of the amount of orange juice here, right, it was 2 to 3. And this is what they do. You have 2 units, right, and here you have 2 to 3, 2 to 3, 2 to 3, right, 2 to 3. This is your ratio, you have your units, right? So 4 liters is 2 units. So lemonade, so one unit, 2 units, 4 liters, 1 unit, 4 divided by 2. 2 liters is 1 unit. If 2 liters is 1 unit, 3 units is 6 liters. Okay? 6 liters. And this one. Alright, well this is more of the model drawing. Now they're showing you how to do it with fraction, much easier. Right, you'd write your fraction, orange juice and lemonade, 2 to 3. And then, right, you are using liters. So 4 liters, 4 liters, 2 units is 4 liters. 3 units is how much, right? And this is how much, 6 liters. Okay, all right, very straightforward. Now the next problem, they show us totally same thing. Now we have 3 different objects, right? We have a peach, pear, and apple trees. Okay, and we know the ratio, 3 to 2 to 4. 3 to 2 to 4 is the ratio. So we draw in 3 to 2 to 4. Okay, we draw our model. Okay, and we know that there was 24 peach trees, so we know this amount. Very simple, right? With the model drawing, we already know how to do it. We find our 1 unit. 1 unit is 8, right? And we can find everything. So 8, this is 16, right? There were 16. We need to know the difference. How many more apples? So this is 8. This is 16. 16 more apple trees than pear trees. Okay, and the total, right? Total amount. How many total units? 9 units, and 1 unit is 8. 9 times 8, 72. Right, this is what they show us. All right. I hope this thing is clear. Now let's get practical. Okay? So this is a problem. Mrs. Chu had some flour. She used 800 grams of it to make a shortcake and the rest of it to make a loaf of bread. Okay. The ratio of the mass of flour used for the shortcake to the mass of flour used for the bread was 4 to 5. How much flour did she use to make the loaf of bread? Very easy, right? So shortcake, she used 4 units because our ratio was 4 to 5. So this is 5, right? This is 4, this is 5. Our ratio is 4 to 5. She said, they tell us that she used 800 grams to make a shortcake. 800 grams to make a shortcake. Okay, 800 grams. That's it. So our 4 units is for 800. Our 1 unit is 800 divided by 4 units, which is 200 gram, right? And now we need to find how much was used for bread. This is our question, right? 5 units were used for bread. So 5 units times 200 is 1000 gram, or 1 kilogram, right? 1 kilogram of flour. All right. Now, second method is we use our fraction, yeah. Oh, sorry, fraction. Our ratio. 4 to 5 is shortcake to bread, yeah. And 4 units, right? 4 units of flour, kind of. 4 units of flour is 800 gram, right? So how much is 5? So we find the common factor first, right? The common factor is 200, so it's going to be 200 here. And 5 by 200 is 1000, right? Very simple. Mrs. Chu used 1000 gram of flour to make the loaf of bread. Now the next problem, the number of stamps Don had from Malaysia, Thailand and Indonesia were in the ratio 7 to 5 to 3. He had 45 stamps from Thailand. How many more Malaysian stamps did he have than Indonesian stamps? Same thing, try to solve this problem using 2 methods. The first one is model, right? So you draw your Malaysia, Thailand and Indonesia, right? And you have your units. So the first one's gonna be what, 7 units? Sorry, that's gonna be small on the screen probably. 5 units, right? And Indonesia has 3 units. Okay. All right. And Thailand, this is 45 stamps. So you're over here, right? Your 5 units is 45, so 1 unit is 8. 1 unit is 8. So you can find this one and this one, right? Now, if you, same thing, if you solve it as a ratio, you do it 7 to 5 to 3, right? And Thailand's in the middle, right? 45 to like this, right? What is the common factor, right? Common factor is gonna be 8, right? So just multiply and find your numbers. 7 times 8 and 3 times 8. Okay? Oh, sorry, something's wrong. Oh, okay, yeah. You see, I'm explaining too many videos in a row. 45 divided by 5. 1 unit is 9, yeah? So, yeah, also here it's gonna be times 9, right? So you need to calculate your, what, 7 times 9 is 63. This number is 63. And 3 times 9 is 27, right? And now they ask you how many more Malaysian stamps did he have than Indonesian, right? So difference basically. 63 minus 27. 63 minus 27. 63 minus 27 is 36. Okay, a little bit crampy here, but I'm sure you can do it yourself. Try to do it again on the piece of paper. Okay, last concept that we need to learn here. Here, our problem, Mr. Lee spent some of his monthly salary on food and petrol and saved the rest. The ratio of the amount of money spent on food to the amount of money spent on petrol to the amount of money saved was 2 to 3 to 5. And Mr. Lee saved, the amount Mr. Lee saved was 480, more than the amount he spent on petrol. Very simple. So you have your 3 expenses, food, petrol, and saved. This is what you draw. Now you have your ratio, right? 2 units to 3 units to 5 units, right? So 2 to 3 to 5. 2 to 3 to 5. Okay, and when you draw your model, you can clearly see what is the difference here. The amount that he saved is here, right? The amount that he saved is 480 more than she spent on the petrol. Clearly, 2 units is 480, and 1 unit is 240. So 5 units, the whole saved money is 1,200. He saved 1,200. Okay, next one. Well, there is a problem. They give you an example over here. Zoe used 125 centimeter ribbon to tie a present. Right, this is present. And she used 75. That is left. This is left. Okay. All right. And we need to find what is the find the ratio. Right. Find the ratio of ribbon she used to the what she had at first. Okay, so basically this is used. Okay, very, very easy. All right, so we just need to find what is the total. So 125 plus 75 is what she had before, is 200, right? 200 centimeters. And then our ratio used to, like, what is it? At first, right? I don't know, like, call it somehow. Used is 125. At first, she had 200, right? Clearly, well, if you think about it logically, you can divide it by 25, both parts, right? So 125 divided by 25 is going to be 5, and 200 gonna be 8. Okay, 5 to 8, that's your ratio. Okay, now here are the problems. I'm gonna leave them to you. Try to solve them themselves. Try to solve these problems yourself. And yeah, if you have a question, drop a comment. Okay, next page. Also, I'm just gonna explain the first example problem, right over here. So Stephanie and Maria divided the sum of money in the ratio 7 to 5. Maria's share was $30. Okay, how much was Stephanie's share? Okay, Stephanie to Maria. Steph to Maria. Yeah, the ratio was 7 to 5, right? And we can see that Maria has 30. Okay, what is this number? So 5 and 30. Common factor is 6, right? And here, common factor is also 6. So basically, what? 7 times 6 is 42. What is it? Dollars? $42. Yeah, this is what they ask us. $42. Now, try to do the same thing. These problems are totally identical, so you do it yourself. Okay, last thing that we need to do here is the last problem, right? At the carnival, the number of adults to the number of girls to the number of boys is 4 to 7 to 9. Okay, so this is what they draw us, right? We have our 4 adults, right? And we have 7 of the girls, and we have our 9 of boys, right? Units. There are 26 more boys than girls. All right. Here is our difference. These 2 units, right? 26. So our 2 units is 26. Our 1 unit is 26 divided by 2, which is 13. They ask us how many adults were at carnival. Adults, 4 units over here, right? So 4 units, 4 times 13 is what? 52, right? So the answer is there are 52 adults at the carnival. Next problem. Isaac is 5 years older than Jayish. The ratio of Isaac's age to Jayish's age is 4 to 3. Find Jayish's age. Okay. You do totally same thing, right? You have, I will write here. Right, you have 2 boys. You have Isaac and you have J-ish, right? And you know that one guy is older, Isaac is older, right? Isaac is older, J-ish is younger, right? And what is the difference? The difference is 5 years. 5 years. The ratio of Isaac's age to J-ish age is 4:3. So this is 3 units. And this is basically 4 units. Well, that's not very... 4 units. Okay? 4 units. That is your model, and you can clearly see that this one unit here is 5. Yeah. So that's it. So Isaac 5 times 4 is 20. J-ish is 15. 20 and 15 years old, right? J-ish age is 15. Okay, 15 years old. Last one. The masses of 3 bags ABC has a ratio 6:4:5. The difference between the mass of bag B and the mass of bag C is 3 kg. Find the mass of bag A. Okay, so you draw your units. You have A, B, and C. A is 6 units. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. B is 4 units, right? 4 units. Okay, and the C is 5 units. So it is like this. Okay, 5 units. The difference between the mass of bag B and bag C is 3 kg. Right, 3 kg. If you, well, how do I draw it? Don't know. Okay, we can draw it here, right? This should be 3. 1 unit is 3 kg, right? This 1 unit is 3 kg. All right. Find the mass of bag A. 6 units. 6 units. All right. 6 units. 6 times 3. 18. That's your answer. 18 kg. All right. So yeah, gonna close this thing. Right. Focus on your workbook. Practice 4. Finish this. And that's the end of this video. See you in the review.